Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I've got a fantastic comedian writer named Kevin Heisinger from California with me today. Kevin, how the hell are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for
Oh,
reaching out.
it is
Pleasure to
my
be
pleasure,
here.
Kevin. You are a funny young man.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I watched a batch of your stuff today, and I don't think there's anything you won't do.
I mean, I won't get naked on stage. I won't
No,
whip it out
no.
as far as I go, but
But I've seen
I
you
can't.
dressed up in outfits.
I can't juggle. It's not I just like
You
can't do
can't
it. It's
juggle.
not that I won't. I've tried. I'm not a coordinated
Well,
guy,
I
okay?
saw you. I saw you play the guitar.
I can do that. I can play like the basic chords. What is like A, C,
Well,
G,
I saw
F.
I saw you and your girlfriend do a rousing rendition for your father on his birthday. It was
It
one
was
of the
touching. He teared up a little bit. Yeah, it was. No, it was pretty funny. We have these things for the listeners at home. There's an interesting wind instrument that I grew up with, and we found it was a 2 for 1 on, I believe it was Amazon. It's called a didgeridoo, and
I've heard it.
we they're pretty odd. It's a very I went to a hippie school growing up, and they were very
Okay.
popular. And it's basically it's kind of like a horn without any notes. It's kind of just a
It
one.
sounded like a fart.
It is the fart. They call it the fart machine. It was, and we do what we call a didgeridoo. Is
Oh,
the
really?
two of us? Yeah, every
I haven't
Valentine's
seen
Day.
that.
Yeah, I don't. I guess we didn't film it. I guess we forgot to this year, but we
Oh
make it
man.
seem like we have this amazing song that we wrote, and then we pull out the didgeridoos and we
Oh.
try. And it's hard. You got to really have some strong throat muscle or whatever to do it. I can't. It's hard to do. I cannot. And what's funny is because throughout it, I struggle, and by the end of it, you just hear, and it's just the spitting.
It does.
You really need some very
It
strong
does sound
vocals.
like a fart. I also I heard that you're opening a new business.
No, I am not. I don't have any businesses, but
Well, I thought you were
I'd like
opening.
to think so.
I thought you
Oh
were.
yeah. Okay.
I thought you were
I see.
opening. I'm
A,
just that. Do you want to tell the
a
people
sperm
about it?
bank.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
sperm
I
bank.
had. Oh, it's more of an idea for a
Okay.
business. I tried to basically just wrote it down on a piece of paper as far as I went as business
Well, there's
proposals.
so many sperm bank jokes. I mean, because I noticed you do a lot of short. Do you want to do some sperm bank jokes?
I just have the one. It's just going to be called "Get a Load of This Guy," which
Oh yeah, that's
usually
what's the
big laugh.
what does the receptionist of the sperm bank say?
What is that?
Come again.
Hey,
I was gonna go
that's
to a
good.
sperm
A lot
bank,
of
but I couldn't come. Now
yeah.
stop it, stop it. Now that's enough of that. Well,
I
let's go
know for
back.
some
Let's
reason
start over a little bit because I want to be kind of serious
love
because I
it.
want people to see the side of you. Again, I
Right.
wrote down some stuff. Were you born and raised in California?
I was. I'm from Northern California. I'm
Okay,
from a small town named Auburn, California. It's an
okay,
interesting place near Sacramento. It's
right. Well,
interesting to say the least.
that ties into something I wrote down on your latest Instagram post. You wrote, "I went from playing empty bars in Sacramento to now the world's greatest comedy store.
It
We
is
made it,
true.
mom." And I couldn't be happier for you.
Thank you. It took a lot of guts. I had to move to Los Angeles. That was the first step, but I did
Well, let's
get my
keep going if
start.
you don't mind down that road. When did you start doing comedy?
Technically, it's hard to say. I did my first open mic late 2015. I was about 23. I went to an open
Okay,
mic just to check it out because I'd
okay,
always wanted to, but I'm from a small town and then I moved to
right.
Sacramento and it was always in the back of my head. It was never a lifelong, I need to get on stage, I need to do it, but people just thought I was funny. And so I went to an
Okay.
open mic in Sacramento at a place called the Comedy Spot late 2015 and everyone sucked and I thought it was hilarious and I thought, why am I not on stage? So
Right.
I sat down for the rest of the week. I got a piece of paper. I wrote down all my favorite jokes and then the next week
Yeah.
I rallied. It was literally the whole audience was just my family and a few friends for
Right.
the whole open mic. And I did it. I went up there and I
Right.
told a bunch of jokes and they went pretty well. And
And
here
here
I
we are,
am.
what, 15 or it, what, 8 years later?
Yeah, about on and off. I always say just 6 or 7 because
Still,
I don't count COVID because I did not perform.
yeah,
I
no,
didn't do the
yeah,
Zoom
no.
shows. That was not for me.
No,
And
I have the utmost admiration for it because
I don't
it's
thank you.
I don't know if Mason told you because Mason and I did one of these earlier.
Yeah.
Um, that I got fired from my job, and that's how
Oh
I
no.
started your Comedy Minute 4 years ago. And I, like you, something you said there hit home. I always thought I was funny. People said I was funny, and it wasn't until after I got fired, from my job, I thought, well, maybe I should try it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it's working out for you. I'm glad
Well,
you're
it's, but I guess, and I got a little sidetracked there, but you doing it the length it takes a special human being, and which ties into the next thing I wrote down. Your goal is to tour the world
Yeah, I
as
mean,
either an opener or as the headliner,
that would be nice. There's a lot of the world I haven't seen.
right?
I've mostly only been in America my whole life. I've
Right.
been to Mexico, I've been to Canada.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of it as far as worldwide
Right.
travels, but it costs a lot of money. So if I could get paid to do it, that'd be
Sure.
there.
Sure.
That's what's holding me back, and to make people laugh along the way.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of a setback when you can't afford to go, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I probably could. I'm not big on travel, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'll go to like Hawaii or Florida, and that'll
Yeah.
be my big
I was
vacation.
gonna say
But
I've been to the Bahamas.
nice. I've been to Maui. It's a lot of fun,
Oh,
and I would
really?
go back, but I don't know. I don't know,
I'm
but
trying to
hopefully
read
someday.
what else I have written down here. Do you want to take a say? I mean, I do have your YouTube channel, and for the
Nice.
people at home, or I will post all of Kevin's links in the
Thank you.
description when I air this. You have a huge following on Instagram.
Doing
Uh,
well.
your, your YouTube channel has 161 subscribers, 33 videos, 116,700 views. I
Oh
know
well.
you don't do a lot there, but I
I
want to
tried.
mention it. And also um, are you on, because I know Mason told me she's not on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I should be. I'm not. I
Yeah,
do the Insta thing. TikTok. I tried during COVID and I just felt dirty doing it. I deleted it. Even during
yeah.
COVID, after a couple of days, it's just I should be. I'd probably be more
No,
successful
don't,
on there,
don't,
but
don't. I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago, I've done 105 live shows on YouTube.
nice.
And I mentioned 2 weeks ago that TikTok actually sent me an invite to come
Oh,
do
really?
minute videos for them. And I just won't do it. I just won't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of for the kids. It's for dance
Yeah,
videos. When I
well,
know,
I
I
have I
guess,
have my reasons, China, and just like every crazy trend that you see is some kind of TikTok bullshit, like drinking borax or just breaking into cars, or and it just, I don't know.
yeah,
Not for me, not for me.
it
But
just feels like it's for kids.
I know you like to chat with Uber drivers when you're getting an Uber.
Um, I don't.
I
I've
know.
resorted. I just drink and drive at this point. I don't even take Ubers.
Drink and drive at this point.
They're so awkward. Oh my
I
god.
well I've tried to comment on where you said you had a deaf Uber driver.
I did. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it was
Is that true?
yeah, and I that's what I said. It was a while ago, and he sent me a text saying, "By
Yeah.
the way, I'm deaf, so if I do anything, you know, weird. I don't even know why. I just like, by the way, I'm deaf, so don't talk to me. Something weird. I don't
I'd
something
have,
along those lines. But the
I'd have been
punchline,
talking all day. Hey, buddy, pull
yeah.
this goddamn car over.
But I did. The punchline was I wrote he had a great conversation when I gave him 5 stars, and that was
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah. You
I
gave him
believe
five
that
stars.
was the post.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Well, let me tie into, after doing this all this time. do you have like a favorite? Obviously, it's a two point question. Do you have a least favorite show? Would it be your first one? And do you have a favorite show? Do they keep getting better, or do you have off nights? Or I'm just curious.
As far as just like all time, I
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
Going from, in other words, I've been doing these now for a while, and some people say, the very first time they were really scared, but it was the most exhilarating thing, and it made them want to do it
yeah.
again. But there's other people, like I just spoke to a guy the other night that said his first time was so bad that he just stopped. And it took him a
Oh
year or
well.
two to go back and say, I want to do it again. I want to try it again.
Yeah, it's I got blessed with, the comedy spot is a very supportive room, and the open mics, there's a few open mics in Sacramento that they really feel like shows, and it makes you
Okay.
feel it'll be packed because there's really just not much to do in Midtown. So every Sunday, Monday night, people come out
Okay.
for the open mic, but it's more of a show because it's just limited out there. So when I first started doing comedy, it was very supportive. So it was kind of the opposite for me. I actually thought I was hilarious, but then
Okay.
about a few months or so, when I started I got really cocky, and then I started bombing, and then I and then I had a
Oh, really?
setback, and I thought I do have a funny few stories. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead. It's your time, man.
it's
Go ahead.
hilarious. There's this really kind of sketchy dive bar, and I was still new in comedy, and I even
Right?
brought a few coworkers, and I had a few new jokes, and I was just going for it, and they were not into it. It was kind of a ratchet crowd. They weren't really. They were. I don't know. It doesn't mean. I don't know why I'm saying it, but they were all
No, I,
black, and
I, I
I
love the
don't.
word ratchet. Whenever I hear the word ratchet, I'm
And they were not. And I was trying to like do jokes, and I asked, "Does anyone? It's so fucking hot. Does anyone actually like it when it's 100 degrees?" And actually, a lot of people raised their hands. I thought, "What the fuck?" That was
you just knew.
it's
You
not a
just
good
knew right
start.
then.
And
This
oh god.
we're going
And
down.
the funniest part about the whole story is that so I was in the bathroom and I was pissing in the urinal, and the host, who's a woman, came into the bathroom, which was weird, and she goes, "Hey, you're up next." And I go, "What?" And I flipped and I pissed on my shorts, and I went, "Oh no." And the funny thing is, it was a giant piss stain. And I thought to myself, and you could see it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is literally like those memories, because the stage was pretty high. I was on this pedestal and it was above the whole crowd. And I thought, oh shit, I'm going to go up there and everyone's going to see that I
See the
pissed my
piss stain.
pants, and everyone's going to laugh at me. And what this is a nightmare. But luckily, when I went on stage, I was able to kind of tuck it and you couldn't really notice. But then
Right.
I still bombed pretty much as hard, the hardest I ever have. So okay, that wasn't even the worst part. But and my coworkers were super far away, and they were kind of looking at me going, "Huh?" And I tried new stuff.
Yeah.
It was maybe the second time I bombed, but it was super just sucked. I went, "Oh wow,
Would
fuck
that
this."
would that be, in other words, like believe it or not, I just had someone on the other night that pissed himself. He had to wait and wait, and he
That's it.
said little dribbles kept, but he said he had dark pants on so that no one noticed. But
Yeah, I do that.
no,
I do that daily, honestly. I kind of have a bladder issue. I should
do
probably
you
get that looked
really?
at. But sometimes, I mean, yeah, sometimes I piss, but then like a few drips
Well,
come
at
out.
my
I'm like,
age,
oh,
my age, it takes me
I
an hour
know.
to go, an hour to start, an hour to get caught.
I
There's
guess so,
jokes
yeah.
like that, but I won't do them.
I'm an old soul.
Okay, well, if that would be, or you said you had another funny story about,
I have the
right,
funniest time I ever bombed. This is a hilarious story. I've never
right,
actually told it before on a podcast, so it's funny. I knew a guy and we were kind of friends. I kind of helped him film this public access show in my hometown back in the day.
okay,
And so he moved to Reno, and he hits me up and he says, "Oh, I see you do stand up now. I have this gig at a retirement home community." And I thought, I had super low expectations, and I thought, this is hilarious. There's so many old jokes I could do.
right,
I was picturing, kind of along the lines of just being inside with the microphone and just the
right.
chairs right there. And so I get there and it's in a parking lot, super hot, and it's mostly a concert. And so and it's a concert no comedy or anything. So all of the chairs are really far away because they're pretty old. They got sensitive ears and they're
Right.
rocking up there. And so I go up there. I thought it was going to be just, super easy, just a good fun time. But I get up there and again, everyone's really far away. So I
Right.
can't really hear any laughs or anything. And I'm going, oh, this is bad. And so I get up there with my little piece of paper. I'm trying to spit off some jokes. I think I maybe threw in some Holocaust jokes or just like
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
threw in some old people jokes. I don't really remember. All I remember is nothing was working. It was so bad. And
How
first,
let me interrupt one second. How long did you after? How long were you on stage?
he only gave me maybe a 10-minute slot and it was in
Okay, still
between
that's
bands.
eternity. That's eternity. That's
Yeah.
a
And
lot,
I,
right?
I don't think I made it to 10. And so I'm up there. So the first thing is, yeah, like I said, it's a super hot parking lot. The crowd is really far away. I
Right.
can't hear their laughs. Another thing, this wasted guy just starts heckling and just starts, and he was wasted. I couldn't understand a word he was saying, but just kept yelling the entire time. And I got to a point where I just stopped talking and just let him. And I even said, "Do you want to come up here, dude?" But he was just couldn't even move out of his seat. But it was bad, talking over me the entire time. And the kicker, if that wasn't enough,
I was gonna say you painted a really rosy picture.
right? And on to top it all off, nobody told the band coming after me to wait. So they were setting up the entire time I was up there. I had my little, and I shit you not, I was standing in front of the drums. He's like, dun, 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 and he's testing out, clank, clank, and he's testing out. And at one point, the guitarist stands in front of me and is strumming and he
Oh
goes, "Oh, could you
no.
turn that up? Could you turn that up?" And I'm sitting there going, and I knew immediately. I mean, it fucking sucked, but I knew in the back of my head, like, this is really funny. And I
They,
can't wait
they,
to
they,
talk about this someday.
they, Kevin,
Because that was definitely
they were playing you off.
and that pretty might as well have. And
Oh
it was,
Jesus.
so that's definitely, that's the funniest time. That's the hardest I've ever bombed, but it's definitely the funniest story I have on top of everything. Just the band was setting
Okay.
up during
Well,
my whole set.
okay, then that being said, do you have a favorite show that you've done? Would that be like the one there at the Instagram post, your latest Instagram post?
Yep, the Comedy Store. Definitely. I love the Comedy Store.
Yeah,
That
I
felt,
saw an interview thing that you did, and that's your favorite club.
it is. It makes you
Yeah,
feel like you're doing something in comedy, when you're
yeah,
surrounded by all these famous people and you got a show, whether it's the main room, belly room. It's
yeah.
good. It feels like you're having success and it's a
Right.
bragging right.
Well, you are having
Yeah.
success, my friend. You really are.
We're doing it. We're
I'm
doing it.
proud of you. I'm proud of you. Not that I
Thank
know
you.
anything. I mean, I'm just trying. I'm just trying to. The thing that I'm finding, and I have about half the time you have in, is that comedy's so subjective that
Right.
you do a dark joke. I have people that just love when I do, a dead. Do you want me to do a dead baby joke?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I love a good rape joke too. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Those are a little much.
What do
A
you
little
give a
much.
dead baby for his birthday?
What's that?
Dead puppy.
Did you hear the
Now,
one where it's like, what did the poor orphan who had no arms and no legs get for Christmas?
cancer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
one.
No, and I didn't mean to interrupt or do one of my lame jokes, but the reason I did it is because I literally will have people just tell me how awful I am for doing that joke. As a matter of fact, at the supermarket last week, a lady said, "Don't talk to me anymore." I've told her jokes for years, and she said, "Don't talk to me anymore. That joke you told me last week really bothered me." And it was
Got
that joke, and
ghosted by your.
I thought she would get it and laugh, but I guess that's what I'm finding is that, people, my own brother, he said he threw something at the TV on one of my live shows. I
Oh
did
well,
a joke about grandma's pussy, eating grandma's pussy or something, and it sent him.
broke his old TV.
No, he just threw something at it. He wanted to hit
No,
me. But I thought it was comical.
Yeah, comedy is subjective. People, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so woke, all these PC babies." And there is a line, but just be funny with it, And there's
Right, right.
funny dead baby jokes out there. Just gotta apply
Well,
yourself.
I like what Ricky Gervais said. You can joke about anything, but you have to be prepared for the ramifications.
Right.
You know,
And
when I first
yeah,
started 4 years ago doing, like I just touched on it this week because, and I don't mean to dominate here, but just for a second because I think it ties in, the
right.
drag queen story hour. Now I first did a story about that about 3 years ago because I shook my head at what is the drag queen story hour, for God's sake?
Yeah.
Just last week, no shit, Iron Horse, no shit. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm in York, Pennsylvania. Lancaster, Pennsylvania is Amish country.
Right.
And they went to have the drag queen story hour at the library. And they had bomb threats and they had to evacuate several blocks. So it's like there's certain things that are still, and I just won't do any of that humor.
I thought you say you weren't gonna bomb the drag story hour. Like I was gonna say that's good.
No, they wanted to. That's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm not shitting you. This is
I bet there we had a drag story hour down the street and there were like 20 cops there, which is weird.
really.
But yeah,
Well, it just, again, we don't want to get into that because, I'm sure you have your viewpoints. Mason has her. I have my viewpoint, especially being 61 years old.
right.
I mean, there's definitely, now I try and think of myself as, a young pup still, but, certain things is just like, but I think you made, and you have much more experience and are much, God, miles above me in this, but it has to be funny. It has to be
For
funny. If it's not funny,
Yeah, for offensive jokes, you could get away with pretty much anything. That's what they say. Art is getting away with it. And like Ricky Gervais said, one of my faves, a joke about the Holocaust is not as bad as the Holocaust. And a lot of people forget that. And
that's a great line, Kevin. That's a great line.
yeah, that's what I look at it. And there were a lot of times because when I moved to LA, I was finding that a lot of my jokes, which weren't even really offensive, I'm not an offensive comic, were rubbing people the wrong way. And
Right.
what I find with, my comedy community and the place you shop for your groceries, sometimes you just got to find your community. And that's what I've done. I
Good for
found,
you.
yeah, I found people who think I'm funny. It took me a while. I've been in LA almost 4 years, and
Okay.
I started doing my own open mic, which we do every Tuesday here in
Okay.
Atwater Village. The
Go ahead and
after
Kevin,
school,
tell everybody about it. I mean, I want you to promote anything you want to talk about.
uh, definitely the after school special mic every Tuesday. We're doing it tonight. Sign up 6:30. Show starts at 7 at the Roost Cocktails here in Atwater Village. I
Okay.
host it. My friend Robbie Wagner hosts it. My girlfriend Mason Lecomte hosts it. And we have a good time and we say offensive things and they are welcome here. And if you don't like it, well, go to somewhere in Silver Lake. I don't care. It's like go back to your safety net.
Well, what else do you got coming up? Because we're going to run out of. Hey, there went somebody.
Yeah, you probably met Mason already.
Tell her to get the hell out of there.
She's doing great.
No, no, I said my best. I'm glad everything's worked out for you today. Just because I want to make sure we cover everything. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. Oh, she mentioned that you guys snuck into a uh Madonna party. Is that right?
That was a long time ago before I even met her. She
Oh,
did sneak
really?
into an Oscars party. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were on that one too.
No, that was a long time. It was like the mid
Oh,
late
okay.
2000s, I think. I don't
Well,
know, but there's an age
I
gap
did
between
see
us.
you guys doing some stuff together beside Dad's birthday with
Right.
Shrek and just different stuff. Man, you guys are
We do
wild.
funny videos. We try. We got some funny ideas. We actually just wrote our whole like a treatment for a movie, which hopefully will be.
Right.
filming in the next few months or so. So that's exciting. She helped me
Cool.
with that a lot. We all sat down
Good.
and wrote it. So hopefully we'll actually do it. I'm a
Good.
big talker. I need to sit down and make more
No,
videos. She
it's
loves making content. I do too. Get it. I got to get
I
back in the
I
algorithm.
li- I I like it. I stopped doing lives because it was killing me because I was doing two a week, and now I'm doing. If she doesn't stop, I'm going to thump her. Does she even care that we're on the air? Does she doesn't care?
We're on there. It's live. We're rolling live.
No, I'm kidding. I think it's funny. Um, no, and I lost my train of thought just because she's cracking me up.
Yeah.
Um, no, I just want to be sure that we cover everything that you want to mention, upcoming shows, anything that you want to promote, or anything else you want to talk about.
Right. Yeah. I do have, well, like I said, every Tuesday at the Roast here in
Right,
Atwater Village, come through.
right.
Also, Mason and I will be at the famous Ice House in
Yeah, I
Pasadena,
saw that. I saw that.
April 19th. So Friday night at 8 o'clock on the Cat C and Friends show. We will both be there.
Yeah,
So
I saw that. That's a
please
big
be there.
show.
It is, yeah. It's going to be a lot of famous people around that. So, at least relatively in the comedy community. So, Darren
Right.
Carter is headlining. He's funny. He's got a whole shtick. He's kind of a
Yeah.
DJ. It's cool.
Well, I'll make sure to air this before the 19th, and again, I'll include all the links and make sure that, everything is there for everyone that sees it and that can, come out and see the stuff.
Right.
And anything else?
As far as shows go, that's it for now.
Just
Uh,
anything else you want to go before we try and do Your Comedy Minute? Do you have something you lined up?
as far as shows go, that's about it. Just follow me on Instagram at Kevin Heisinger, also Twitter, and that's also my
Oh,
PayPal and Venmo if you feel
okay.
inclined to just send
Right.
money
Yeah.
my way.
Okay. I didn't know if you were on X or not. Twitter, X. I know,
One of those, yeah.
one of
I
those.
still call it Twitter. I don't know what X is.
Yeah, it's Elon Muskville.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Do you have Your Comedy Minute for me? Do you have something lined up or no?
I didn't do my homework. I don't know what my comedy minute is
Well,
supposed to
no,
be.
it just in other words, at the end, I always say that, your favorite. Would it be that old folks show? Would that be like the funniest thing? In other words, I've had like here. I'll give you an example. I just did one the other week, and it's actually premiering tonight. It's going to come on, I think, at 7 o'clock. Trevor Klumpner, and he said, well, I don't understand what you're asking me. Do you want me to do a bit? I said, I don't give a shit. Whatever you want, something that when you think about makes you laugh. And he proceeded to tell me, and I can't make it up this good, that he likes doing mushrooms. And one time he ate so many mushrooms that he decided to start walking around the neighborhood, looking into people's window, and climbed up into a tree.
Nice. Likes doing
So that's
mushrooms.
kind of what I'm looking for. If you got something like that.
I wish I did. I do smoke a marijuana sometimes. Don't tell the police.
No, no.
I do love watching bad movies and things that make me laugh. Honestly, just like there's a scene in a movie
Well,
called Catwoman. You know that movie with Halle
Well,
Berry?
why before you do that, your favorite movie is I forgot I saw it. What is your favorite movie of all time?
I have a few. My favorite comedy movie was Airplane, but
Right, right, right. That's what I read.
I've
Okay,
seen
so
so many comedy movies, yeah, and so
What is it? Bat with Halle Berry,
the basketball scene from Catwoman.
Catwoman.
If you haven't seen it, look it up. Some really terrible CGI in there. That's a good one. There's something else too. There's a YouTube video if I ever want to laugh. It's from this Archie movie from the late 80s, and Jughead does a rendition of Sugar Honey Honey, and it's like the
Juliet
lamest.
and Veronica and Reggie. My
Yeah,
God.
and it's like a reunion. He's older, and Jughead and his son his son are dancing while he's rapping, and it's the lamest thing ever. But one thing that always makes me laugh for my comedy minute is just when something really lame is happening in a movie and everyone's surrounding going, "Oh hell yeah, this is the
Yeah,
coolest thing I've ever seen."
now that you
That
mentioned it, you do post on Instagram. I've seen you post clips from movies.
I
You have
do that,
several of them
yeah.
up.
I do, yeah. And I had a few go viral of me just filming my TV, so I got that
Yeah,
going
no,
for me.
and I gotta admit, that's one of my I love live TV because they can't fix it. I like
Yeah,
live shows that sometimes you catch stuff that they just screw up.
yeah, people forget TiVo and stuff. Yeah, and if you have these things, listeners at home, called DVDs with old things that they try to pretend there's certain movies and TV show episodes, they're trying to pretend like they don't exist. A lot of episodes have been taken offline, but if you
Right,
have
yeah,
the physical copy, which is kind of a hobby of mine, I'll go to thrift stores and stuff and I'll
sure.
find them. And I'm trying to preserve these memories, stuff that still exists.
Yeah, it's like All in the Family.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus, there,
exactly.
eat it there, stifle.
Exactly.
All right,
But
man. Well,
yeah,
listen, hang in there for a second. I'm going to stop the recording. I just want to talk to you for a second off the air. Thank you so much for
perfect.
being here. Is there anything else? We cover everything.
We covered everything. Thanks so much for having me.
It was my pleasure, man. Hang out for a second, okay?
Hell yeah.